Captain America of Singapore, the leader and one of Singapore's footballing icon, Hariss Harun.
As a young boy, you don't want to study, right? But he told me, if you don't study, you cannot play football. Simple as that. That was enough to threaten me really.
How do you feel like player to vice president?
Awkward lah.
Lions XII, how did that make you feel?
My father grew up during the Fandi era. They were more excited than the players. The fathers and all, yeah.
How involved was TMJ? Was it always there at the training?
After training, he would challenge the players. Who can kick this ball, hit the corner flag?
Get 50,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
50,000 ringgit.
Some fun lah. Yeah. The first score so we went back to Johor. We all got warning letters. Warning letters.
This has always blown my mind a bit. Around 90% of you who tune in every week haven't subscribed yet. So before we dive in, can I ask you for a small favor? If you enjoy the show, the stories and the guests we bring on, the best way you can support us is by hitting the subscribe button. Because your support means everything. It gives us a chance to grow, to bring on the guests you've always wanted to hear from, and to keep creating conversations to inspire the community. Behind the scenes, a lot of time, energy and resources go into every episode. But we do it because we believe that this will impact the stories that youths can have to chase dreams. Thank you for being here, and I promise my team and I will keep giving our all to make this show better every single week.
What a brilliant goal! Usain Bolt storming through, takes it. We've never seen anything like it.
The Sportswire Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Sportswire Podcast, your fast track to everything sports. As always, we will be bringing you guests on the show to share their stories and their journey as a professional footballer, or rather, a professional athlete.
That's right, but before we begin, follow us on all of our socials, X, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to this channel so that you can follow us on other episodes as well.
Thank you, Hiskill. Now let's get straight into introducing our guest for today. He is like the Captain America of Singapore, the leader and one of Singapore's footballing icon. With us here today, we have in the studio Mr. Hariss Harun.
Yes!
Hariss, first of all, thank you for being here with us. It's a great pleasure to have you here with us today. How have you been recently and how's the season so far for you?
Thank you for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm alright. It's a week on from our qualification to Asian Cup, so I think everyone's still buzzing and feeling the high of that feat last week. So yeah, I'm alright and just enjoying football and taking life as it is. Yeah.
Amazing, you mentioned just last week you took Singapore, you and your teammates, the whole backroom staff took Singapore to the 2027 Asian Cup, Saudi Arabia. We'll get back to that topic a little bit later in the podcast. As I always ask all the guests here on the show, so I'm going to start the same with you. Whereabouts in Singapore did you grow up and how did you actually pick up football?
So I grew up in my early years in Toa Payoh and Whampoa.
Okay.
Because that's where my parents and my grandparents live. So I was a lot in that area. In this Balestier area, so yeah, that's where I first started to play football. And as most boys in our generation, we play in the void deck and the street soccer, basketball courts. So I played all over with my cousins, friends from the neighborhood. So yeah, that's how I started.
Is there anyone that inspired you, that really wanted you to? You were inspired by that person that you wanted to be a footballer?
For me, not really. Obviously, you start to watch football first, then you understand the game, and then it just hits you, the fever, the adrenaline, the excitement just hits you. So I started to watch with my dad and my uncle on TV. They were huge Liverpool fans, so you're a Liverpool fan. I'm a Liverpool fan too.
Not a good time to be a Liverpool fan now.
But we always
a Liverpool fan also.
we go through the highs and lows together. That's what they say. But yeah. That's how I first got on. Then after that, I started to play with my friends and my cousins. My cousin was staying in the same block as me back then, when I was a little boy. So he was much older. He took us down, played with the neighborhood kids and whatnot, So yeah, we had good fun. And from there, gradually, we start to move on to other things.
So you, growing up through the ranks, you must have had an idol. And at what age did you think that, I'm better than the rest?
I loved or modeled my game behind Steven Gerrard because he was my favorite player up till now. Of course, he's retired, but he comes from my favorite team, and just the way he plays with a lot of passion and fire. I love that from a young age, so I try to take after him. So watching a lot of his games from his early years until he retired, I think his whole journey was quite inspirational, and the fact that he's a one club man, even though he had a lot of opportunities to leave.
So broad,
it just shows a lot about his character. So I think there's something to learn of him, not only on the pitch but off the pitch as well. Yeah.
Any local heroes you look up to?
Local heroes, of course. I think for me, growing up was Indra, Shadan and Walam Shah.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously I saw Fandi.
Both are strikers, huh?
Both were strikers. Yeah. I started out as a striker but I gradually moved backwards. So midfield, and now I'm a defender. And sometimes midfield. But yeah, that's football, right? My local heroes were Indra and Alam Shah. I saw Fandi and Sundan play in the early S-League years, but they were towards the end of their career.
Yes.
They were more relaxed. They were playing for SF and Jurong. Right? And Sundan was a player coach, so I managed to catch them. But yeah, they were not in their prime. They were just helping out and towards their retirement. But for national team, when I saw the likes of Indra and Alam Shah play, they were my heroes growing up.
Was it a dream come true that I think if you watch Alam Shah episode, there was a part of the clip where he mentioned that you and him was actually roommate. Was it like a dream come true where Alam Shah was your roommate?
It was, but
was it traumatic?
Okay, as a young boy it was, but then growing up and and I was older and I know how he was quite a fairy kind of character. He doesn't mince his words. So I was a little bit afraid as well, to be honest. But yeah, it was nice in the sense that it was a good football lesson development for me as a young boy.
Any lessons you can take away when you share the room with Alam Shah?
I mean, when I was with him, actually I learned more so looking at him play rather than obviously he helped me a lot with his advice and whatnot, right? Like in terms of football or off the pitch. But I think just by how he played on the pitch, I think showed a lot about his character, his fire to play for the national team, for the country. And he played as a teammate as well. As a young boy, I witnessed firsthand also how he played through the pain barrier, sometimes putting himself before the team, before the country. So that itself taught me a lot growing up.
With development and lessons, how did you get your spot in NFA? How did that came about?
Okay, I to be honest, as a young boy, you just want to play. You just want to play, just want to enjoy your football. So at that point of time, I was playing for Home United Academy, and then I was playing for Centre of Excellence. I was playing for my school as well, St. Gabriel's Sec. And then one day the call came, said go for NFA trials and training under Coach Kadi. So I went. I think it was through the Centre of Excellence or Home United where Coach Yaakob Hashim was my coach. So I think there was some kind of recommendation or word going around, and I was called up to play for the NFA. So I played for NFA 2 years because I played 1 year with the older boys. With the batch of 89. So and then I played my batch and 16 again with the batch of 90.
Understand. Because when you touch on the NFA slightly, usually the boys that when they enter NFA, they usually have a lot of family backing. Father was an ex-coach or father's in the scene and all. How's your parents growing up? Are they in the scene? Or
no, my father was not in the football scene. I think he only played for combined schools when he was younger.
Okay.
And then he got injured and he didn't play football. So, but he has a lot of passion for football. And I think naturally he didn't push me, say you must do this, you must do that.
So it was more of your choice,
Yeah, it was more of my choice, more of a guiding light than to go for this, go for that, or don't do this, don't do that. Obviously, father being a father, I think my father was quite stern and strict when growing up in terms of my studies, because as a young boy you don't want to study, right? You just want to play football, right?
Yes.
But he told me if you don't study you cannot play football. Simple as that. That was enough to threaten me really. So for me, I wasn't the best student, but I got by lah. Just to make sure I studied.
Understand. Because when we look back at your your international side of football, you were part of the Singapore Under-23 squad for the SEA Games. And based on what I read online, you won bronze in 2007, 2009 and also 2013. why could the team at that point of time bring home something for the country but not now? Why the gap so far?
Oh, I don't know. I think there can be a lot of reasons for that lah. Yeah,
Understand.
I think that's why investment in the youth setup, youth development is very, very important because that's how you gauge the players that are coming through. You know,
Okay.
so I think during that time, even when my first SEA game 2007, I played with a lot of players who already made their debut for national team. You know, the likes of Bai was there, Khairul Amri was there. So I think Fazrul, Sharish, you can name them, like, you know, all those players were there. So along the way, even in 2009, we had a much younger squad, but we still had the likes of Isa Halim, Shadan, you know, to Shaiful Esa as well to guide these players through, and we just continued. Okay, 2011 was one of the year that we didn't make through, you know, to from the group stage, but 2013 was, in my opinion, the best chance we had in a long time to get more than a bronze, because it was my batch of players. It was maybe 80% of the squad couldn't play any more SEA games. It was our last SEA game, you know.
Yeah.
So we were quite disappointed when we lost to Thailand in the semi-final. 1-0. It was quite a close game, and we lost through a penalty, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but we had enough chances. But okay, we made amends and we got the bare minimum, which was a bronze. But if you ask me why we haven't gone through, I think we had several close calls. I think 2015 when we hosted also, we almost made it out. But in actual fact, the reality is we haven't
Yes.
Yeah.
One
made
and
it.
things, yeah.
So I think it's a gauge for us lah. I think we need to try to find our footing back, you know, in guide our young players, get them to a certain level. Because if you look at our neighbours, like Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, even Indonesia now, you know, they are upping their game. Like many notches. So we have to try to keep up and get better in the years to come.
Just for the audience to understand, because at that point of time when you brought home 3 bronze medal in those years and all, of course you got the medal, but as an athlete, when you win bronze for the country during the SEA Games, was there any monetary offer that they gave to the players for bringing back bronze?
For sure there is. I think from the Football Association,
Okay.
there was I can't remember. I think there was from the
Sports
SG side as well. I mean, that was many years ago, but I'm not sure amount and not. But there were definitely some monetary.
Yeah, I mean, Hariss, I find it amazing because you know, we all know the scene. Not many players get to play even 2 SEA Games. You know, the natural thing was 1, but you managed to play, I think, 4 SEA Games.
Yeah.
So it's extraordinary. But I mean, talking about playing 4 SEA Games, you made your international debut at just 16 years, 217 days old, youngest ever for Singapore till date. What do you remember about that day, and who actually gave you that call up?
It was it was Coach Adi who called me up. Actually that year 2007 I was 17, going to be 17, 16, going 17.
Yeah.
Things happened very fast. I was still in Sec 5, you know. St. Gabriel, I was in the normal stream, so I had to go to Sec 5. Still going to training in my uniform. I turned up in the national team training in my uniform because I came directly from school. Yeah, so things happened very fast. I was doing my O-level also that year. So, Adi gave me my call up. It was somewhere middle of the year. I think it was June or July. So it was quite alright, but things started to get a bit complicated later on because it was going towards the O-level, right? The prelims and O-level. And then I think my teachers and my parents got a bit concerned with my heavy commitment in football. Yeah, but somehow I think with the support, you know, the school was really supportive in trying to accommodate to my unique pathway, you know, for a 16-year-old back then. So I'm really grateful for that. So
where were you when you get that call?
I think team manager Eugene was the one who the manager then Eugene was the one who relayed the message to me. I think I was in school or was at home. Yeah, I can't remember clearly right now, but I thought it was
A scam.
not a scam lah. But, I mean, to be honest, in my heart, when I that was my first year in SD, you know, I want to play in the national team all the time, but I didn't expect it to come that early. Yeah, so when it came, I was quite surprised. Yeah. But I was looking forward to it so much because it was at the National Stadium, a place where I grew up watching so many games, you know. So yeah, it was a nice, pleasant surprise.
You had your debut against North Korea actually.
Yeah.
How is it like talking to the North Koreans?
I cannot remember actually because I don't think I spoke to any of them. Back then it was I remember they all had the same hairstyle.
Okay.
Right, normally they all
correct.
Yeah,
Because it's unique, it's not many people get to interact with North Koreans.
It's not always that we play North Korea. I think that was the only time in my national team career that we played North
Against
Korea.
North Korea, yeah.
Until now, we haven't played North Korea.
and
So in terms of communication, nothing much. But we won the game, so it was all good. It was a nice first cap.
But do you feel like they were quite exposed also to when they were playing and all? They were quite exposed to the playing style. Was it like normal
North Korea,
football?
you mean?
Yeah, North Koreans, not Singapore.
I think at that point of time they were. I mean, I wouldn't say like.
What was the scoreline? Because we
won 2-0 to 1, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So at that point of time, I don't think they were like the South Korea or Japan level.
Okay. Yeah.
I think later on, a couple of years later, they improved and they made a good challenge to the Asian Cup level.
Okay.
I think a couple of years prior to that, they played in the World Cup.
World
also.
Cup,
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so I think North Korean football, you never know. I think there's not much information available, right?
Correct.
So I think they are a bit up and down lah. So
That's how it is lah. Okay.
I mean, later in that same year, you also won a Nike talent contest, which earned you a stint at the FC Barcelona famous Masia Academy. How was that experience like?
Yeah, so like I say, it was quite a year for me. And that was more relaxed because I think that happened after my exam. So I could go and relax, focus on my football, enjoy a little bit. And to go to La Masia was quite a surreal experience. Because as a young boy, that was the first time that I went far away from Singapore, away from my family. And but it was nice to mingle with boys from other Asian countries, Southeast Asia, boys from Korea, Japan as well. And then we get to train at the actual academy. So to walk in, it was really massive. You know, the buildings with the Barcelona logo. And then you see the many pitches there, you know, the artificial and grass pitches. And then they told us that the first team train here. They took us on a tour of before we could actually train. So when you experience this as a young boy, it gives you a lot more motivation, you know, to push on in your career.
What was the Nike talent contest about?
Oh, it was just about skills and like the best young player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so at that point in time, I also signed my endorsement deal with Nike.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything kind of just came together. I think, okay lah, I'm not the most skillful player. I have some skill. Maybe Saifullah can share with you. He's more skillful than me, but yeah, got by.
Okay. How was the deal back in Nike when you signed at that very young age?
It was just a normal deal.
Okay.
Nothing
Taking
good.
products and all that.
Just products,
Okay.
nothing monetary and of that sort, because I can understand I was still a young player coming
understand.
through.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, moving on slightly away from that, I think touching a bit on the FAS side, because in that same year, I think a year after, FAS and also the Singapore ex-coach Radi actually voiced you out for you to go for a 10-day trial.
Yep.
With Chinese Super League team Shanghai Shenhua. I hope I get it correct.
Shenhua, yeah.
How was that arrangement like? Why did the deal fall through?
Not good.
Okay.
Not good experience for me.
Okay.
Honestly, because it fall through because it was a stint for me, and then to go there and see, obviously for me on a personal level to experience a higher level of football, but at the same time to see if I can try to get something over there. But the moment I got there, I was there like 10 days about there. So by the moment I got there, they brought, I think it was at night, they brought me to the club quarters, which is within the training ground. Yeah, it was night, it was dark, and then I just went to my room. The next day woke up, go to training, and I remember the people were a bit cold towards me.
Towards you.
Yeah, I can only remember maybe 2 players who were nice enough to. I didn't speak Mandarin, you know, so it was a bit difficult for me to communicate with the players, and I think the players also were like, who's this guy from Singapore? You know, and honestly, China, Singapore, they maybe look down on our level. They think, okay, Singapore players are not so.
You were young also, right? That
I
time?
was
18.
19, 20 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually I was quite excited to go there and try to secure something.
breakthrough,
But from the moment I got there, I think it was quite difficult for me already.
Okay.
But still, I tried to pull through. These two players were quite. I cannot remember the name right now, but they were quite nice because they spoke a bit of English, so they translated the training drills and whatnot with me. And then, of course, obviously the food and the lifestyle and all that. You know, I think back then if you're talking about halal food and all these
Yes.
things, it's not so
Exposed,
yet in China. Maybe now it's easier, in
correct,
Hong Kong, China, and all this part of the world. So language and all this I was just against it from the beginning. But looking back, I think it was a great thing for me to go through. For me, I mean, sometimes when you go through something that is smooth and fluid and all that, you don't learn much. When you go through these kind of things, then you learn a bit more about yourself.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I think I came back stronger. I found a different part of me, So I thought, I need to push on from here.
But you completed the full 10 days.
I completed full 10 days. I thank God it was a World Cup time. 2010 World Cup. We didn't have phone in video calls back then.
Okay.
So you cannot use your phone. You cannot call back your family. You can call back your family on a normal call. You cannot video call.
Yeah.
I remember I watched the World Cup final 2010 there. In my room. Alone. I don't know what time was it, but it was at late at night. So I just woke up to watch just to keep myself. You on the TV, it was all Chinese shows and whatnot. You couldn't understand anything. So thank God for the World Cup.
Was there anyone that went there with you, or you were...
Yeah, so no, that trip I went alone. But later on, one of the reps from Nike came by. So he was nice enough to take me around. He spoke Mandarin, so
that was a bit better.
It was a bit better. That I enjoyed that couple of days that he was there with me, 2 days or so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, talking about your bitter experience in China, fast forward to 2012, you signed for Lions XII.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel being a part of a team, although it was just one season?
Yeah, it was very exciting time for me. I think a lot of us who was in the team as well, because obviously we know the Malaysia Cup days, right? How much it means to maybe our fathers and our grandfathers and our uncles and all that. So obviously my father grew up in the 70s, 80s and 90s during the Fandi era, Samad era and all that. So you hear so many stories about those times. And then when I had the opportunity to play in the Super League and of course Malaysia Cup and all that, it was amazing. I think they were more excited than the players, the fathers and all, because they get to relive those moments. So it was really special. I remember the first game in 2012 we played in Jalan Besar against Kelantan. I think they were defending champions back then. So and to see the crowd come out, it shows how much it meant to the fans.
Yeah, that's true. And in that team, you had natural born leaders like Bayaki, Isa, Cairo Amri around. And was leading the team easier, or did it create an overwhelming environment where there's too many strong personalities?
I think for me, the captain was Sharil at that point of time. Sharil Shak. So we had a lot of senior players, yes, you're right, but we took the lead from them. So the younger players like myself, Safwan, Izwan, even Shadan was there in that first year in 2012. We took the cue from them. They had a lot more experience. So they led the way in 2012. Of course, in 2013, we had to take a bit more of a prominent role because they tweaked the rules a little bit because of SEA Games, so only 5 players or senior players were left. But then again, I think we worked quite well. There was a lot of respect within the group, and he showed 2013 we won the league, so that was another special moment for us.
And moving slightly 1 year after, I think you almost had a deal with Rio Ave. I'm not wrong, in Portugal. But of course the deal fell through once more. But when we search up online, the one negotiating the deal for you was the billionaire Peter Lim and also Cristiano Ronaldo agent George Mendes. How do you actually come in contact with them?
Yeah, like you said, Peter Lim was quite involved.
Yes.
Peter Lim's Singaporean, right? So I think there were some talks between FAS and himself back then. Yeah, I don't know clearly what role was played, but definitely it was through him, trying to make something happen for me. Yeah.
Okay, but when the deal fell through, I think right after that you signed for JDT. Yep. When you look back on JDT history during that point of time in 2013, 2014, they were only just starting out and all. What gave you that confidence for you to say that, okay, let me try something in JDT? Did you receive a call from TMJ himself?
Yeah, I did. So the thing, I got a call from him.
Was it like a unknown number?
I cannot remember now. I don't know whether he got caller ID or not. But it was that 2013 also, because I just finished my national service.
Okay.
Yeah, so this whole Rio Ave thing, JDT and whatnot, right, was quite a complex situation for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so But in all honesty, Fandi was a coach in JDT.
Oh, at that point of time.
In 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think midway through 2013, something like that. So, when the Rio Ave thing fell through, right? For various reasons. Then JDT came calling. I said, okay, let's give it a shot lah, you know. And then I had a meeting with TMJ, with Fandi and all that. So he explained his vision for the club and all that. Okay, JDT is not... The JDT then was not the JDT today, you know.
Correct.
So it's a different world. So TMJ ironed out, and it was the first time that I met him. His vision, what he wants to do to the club. I said, wow, okay, he's the prince, and he's got all these plans. So I was like, okay, I think I'm at a good age to try this project, you know. So I went there, but something happened. I think they changed coach. Fandi left. Fandi came to Lions XII for 2014 season. He signed, and then I was like, okay, I'm left in limbo now. No, what's going to happen? Do they still want me? You know, because Fandi is no longer there. So after I think a couple of days or a week, I got a call from TMJ. He said, hey, I still want you. You know, I want you to come and blah, blah. So nothing changes, and I said, okay, this gives me a bit of assurance lah. Yeah. So I finished my national service, and I thought, okay, let's give it a shot.
How is TMJ like as a person? Because not a lot of people have the opportunity to have that kind of one-to-one interaction. We all only see him on socials. But how is he like as a person?
He's a good guy lah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a good heart. But like every one of us, we sometimes when we reach certain limit, you see another side of the person.
Understand.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So for TMJ, he's as you see him on the socials.
Yeah.
You know, but up close when he's with the players, you know, behind the camera and whatnot, he's like a friend to us. He wants to be close to the players and whatnot. But of course, him being the boss, big boss, his main thing is a team, the state of Johor itself, you know. So I think football is also a way for him to bring the people of Johor together, and also it means a lot to him. So us players, we get paid well. So he of course want us to perform well. You know, he has certain expectations. So I call it a high reward, high risk kind of thing.
I mean, you mentioned TMJ being such a nice guy, and then paying players as they should and all that. So when your Rio drill fell through, you know, TMJ again offered you a salary of estimating between 25 to 38k SGD for your first 2 seasons. Who negotiated for you that amount? Was it yourself, or do you
Where do you get the figure?
Straits Time.
Is the figure higher?
Is the figure higher? Way higher?
I can only tell you it's not right. It's not the correct figure.
Okay. It's not
the correct figure. It was lower lah.
Okay.
It was lower. So that's my first contract lah.
Yeah,
it was lower for sure. But who negotiated for me?
Yeah.
I didn't negotiate. I just took it.
He came and
because
offered.
for me it was good enough. More than good enough. I had no complaints, and I knew that I had to prove myself. You know, I never had an agent. Okay, I had an agent for a brief period. I had a not so good experience with the agent. You know, so I told myself that if it's in Singapore, in Southeast Asia, I think I can deal with it myself. You know, back then. But now I recognize, okay, maybe football is a little bit different now than it was 10-15 years ago. Then maybe you need an agent and whatnot to deal with certain things for you. But for me, back then, I didn't see a need for an agent unless I was going to Europe or Japan or something. I said, okay, maybe I'll get an agent to deal things for me. But no, so that contract, the first one, I didn't have an agent. It was just he put the figure.
Just
like,
But was there like arrangement because you need to cross through the border daily? Was there like car given, like
we a car wasn't given. We had an allowance.
Allowance.
For car allowance. So that's up to you on how you
want to utilize it. You were based in Johor that time, or you came up and
I had a house in Johor. Still, because for
you
me. No, it's it was given. No, it was rented. Then again, it's an allowance. So housing allowance. So you rent. So my thought process was like, okay, when I have a game, or a double session, because certain time pre-season and all that, you have double session, right? I stay there because of obviously the jam is unpredictable. You know, the traffic coming in and out, and you don't want to be stuck when you are going for a game or double session. You want to rest, right? So I will stay there. If it's just a single session and a normal maybe recovery session, then I will commute back and forth.
Understand? Because I mean, it's been some time since you left JDT and all. Do you still catch up with TMJ on the daily? Did he congratulate you on the recent win?
Yeah, he did. No, the recent win, no, not. But I mean, I can imagine he's got a lot on his plate.
Yes, correct.
I think we all know that, and he did congratulate me when I was appointed the VP of the new FAS Council.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he still follows. We do text from time to time. You know, we still maintain good relationship. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just staying a little bit on your first year with JDT. You know, when you first went there, what was your first impression like? You know, JDT having the training facility and the culture. Back then, was it all built?
I don't think so, right?
You guys drive by, right?
Correct.
The Tissel Hotel, the Dataran there.
Yeah.
Nothing of that was there. It was just the two fields that are there, but it was cow grass fields, not the pitch that they have it today. And then they had like a platform in the middle.
Yeah.
It was for like flag raising or something like that, you know, back then. And then on the other side behind was a rugby pitch. It was a huge pitch. Yeah. So we only had like a small room where 25-30 people, coaches and staff will cram in there, shower, change and all that. Yeah. So that was my first year there. First 1 year, 1.5 year. So ice bath you do in a basket that's like this round, and then two of us will go in. So I was like, okay, for me, I knew that this was a project that is for the longer term.
Really believe the vision.
And I just I wasn't concerned with all these things. I was more concerned in proving myself.
Okay.
You know, and then at that point of time, Malaysia Super League at 4 foreigner, only 3 can play. One on the bench. I was on the bench most of the time. So I was like,
but Bai was also there, right?
Bai was there. So Bai really helped me in my first few months, because Bai was a bigger name. You know, he was more established. He was more known around Southeast Asia, you know, for what he's done in football. So he helped me a lot. So him, Pablo Aima was there, Luciano Figueroa. These 3 were the main ones playing, you know, and I was on the bench. I was coming in most of the time for Pablo Aima, because Pablo was much older, couldn't play full game, you know. So I would come in the last 20-25 minutes, whatever, you know, to replace him. So I was more concerned with playing time, like fighting for my place, rather than thinking about what's around me, you know.
What's the future, whether happening or not.
So my thought was, okay, I need to break into the team first.
I understand. Okay. I mean, from Johor being nothing to what it is now, how involved was TMJ like on a day-to-day operation? Was it always there, the training?
He's very involved.
He train also, no? He wear boots and go also.
I mean, sometimes he wear his boots. He's a kickabout, you know, and then after training, he will challenge the players. Okay, look, who can kick this ball, hit the corner flag?
Get 50,000 ringgit.
50,000 ringgit.
Have to have some fun, So it's nice, but I mean, the man himself, and he's very serious about the club, the infrastructure, the facilities. He comes in, checks the grass. He walks in the gym just to make sure everything is there. You know, so if you see something on the wall, you make sure it's all. So it's to the detail. You know, he comes in his buggy. He's got a buggy there, so you go around the training facility. So yeah, he's very much involved in the day-to-day thing. I would say if it's 7 days a week, maybe out of the 7 days, 5-6 days, he's there at the training ground. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned earlier just now when you first came, you always came on for Pablo Aima, so you weren't starting. You know, but when you were in Singapore with the national team, with Lions XII and all that, you were always playing. So when you went to JDT and you faced this issue, how did you adapt to not being the starter at JDT?
So you learn a lot more from this kind of experience than you know, when you are all at high and smooth and you know, smooth sailing. So for me, I was really worried, to be honest. And also the team, the first 3-4 months we weren't doing so well. Despite the investment in the team, right? And I must say, TMJ, he's not so patient in that sense. He and rightly so, you know. He's for the investment that he put in the team, you expect certain results, you know. And patience in football, sometimes you have it or you don't have it. You know, for him, he couldn't wait. He wanted to make sure the team is successful and whatnot, right? So after 3-4 months, he changed the coach. He changed the coach, and then I started to hear murmurings, in the team like, going to change this player, that player. I was like, hey, I haven't even played much, am I going to be the one? And then one of the, I think, assistant coach told me that no, I'm still part of the plan, so just keep working. And I said, okay, I just put my head down and just keep working hard. Yeah.
You being still part of the plan, but you're not part of the starting 11 when you first came. So being the captain of JDT in 2019, can you tell us the story on how it came about?
Yeah.
Because it must have came as a shock,
Yeah, it was. I think I was at the club, I think. Okay, so the thing is, 2014, 15, 16, I was there.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we won the
Whichever possible
FA
silver,
Cup in 2016, the league and the FA Cup double. And then I remember sometime in 2015, after we won the AFC Cup, I told TMJ that I was 24, 25 at this time. I said, boss, I have ambitions of going to Europe to try, because at that point in time, they had a collaboration with Borussia Dortment.
Okay. Yes.
And they sent Gary, my teammate,
Gary
Steven,
Robert.
Gary Robert to Dortment to train. That was a complex situation. Anyway, so I was like, okay, there's a chance for me, maybe if I talk to boss, maybe he can,
Help you,
help me here and there. But it didn't happen in 2015, so I stayed in 2016. And at 2016, he told me that, hey, you're going on loan, for 2017 season. So I was like, why now? Because we just won, the team is quite settled and all that. So, but anyhow, when he says you're going. And I thought it was a good opportunity. So I went to Spain to trial, but that didn't happen. And then I came back on loan to Home United for a season. And 2018 was the year that I was captain. So when I came back, I didn't expect that, because at that point of time, we still had Shafiq Rahim, we had Nacho Insa, Aidil Zafwan was there, so some of the big players was there. So Shafiq started the season as captain. And then midway through the season, we went, I think we played one of the Super League games or something. I turned up at the dressing room. I saw the armband at my spot.
Okay.
I said, this must be a mistake, I look around the dressing room and say, Shafiq is here. Aidil is here. Safi Sali is here. And I was like, cannot be what? Luciano Figueroa is here. So I take the armband, I put back in Shafiq place, Shafiq Rahim place. Because he's the club captain. Nobody mentioned that anything. So then I went to prepare, blah, blah, blah. I came back, the armband is at my place again. I went to toilet and no change, whatever. I said, the armband is again. Then I put back there. Then the kid man saw me do that. He said, no, today you are the captain. Boss order, that you are the captain today. Then I was like, you serious or what? I said, Shafiq and all this. Aidil is in the team. No, boss said you. I said, okay lah, just keep my mouth shut. I just put the armband lah, because like who are you to question boss? And it's game day, I don't want to create a hoo-ha, So I just went through it and whatnot. And then so I spoke to Aidil after the game, and he said, I was a little bit how you say that, taken aback by the whole thing. Obviously, I was captain for the national team already by then, but because of
Foreign country
one thing, but with the characters in the dressing room and all that, I thought, okay, maybe there were other people who are more suited because of the background, affiliation to Malaysia, to Johor and all that. Then I spoke to Aidil and said, hey, no, I think you were the only one who can lead this team. So that gave me a little bit of belief and confidence. Hey, look, I have the support of my teammates.
Correct.
And then after a couple of days, TMJ, I had a meeting with him, and he talked to me. He said, I want you to lead this team now. Now I was a bit taken aback because Shafiq was there. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but he said, I want you to lead this team now. So I said, of course, boss. I mean, I don't need the armband to play my role, but if you want me to lead the team, and I'm more than happy, and it's a proud moment for me. And I was really grateful for that that confidence in me. And moving along, I think after a few games, I think my teammates also took to me. I think the likes of even Shafiq and Safi Sali and Figueroa, they gave me their support, and that made my job a bit easier.
I mean, you said you were shocked, right? And then you tried to confirm whether you were the captain and then and all that. So you had a team talk. You normally have a team talk in the dressing room, right? So how was your team talk like? Like you were very nervous, or because you didn't know about this prior to coming to the game?
So I just keep it short and sharp lah. To be honest, you look around the team back then in JDT, you didn't really need to talk too much.
Yeah,
The
understand.
characters, the players that we have, So I just kept it short and sharp. I think that was also the first time the players were hearing from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was a gradual thing. Yeah.
And in that short amount of time, you won every possible silverware with JDT, but you were like from the bench. So how was your influence to the team?
You mean that 4 or 5 years?
Yes, for 5 years, correct.
Yeah, I think in the beginning, between 2014, I played more regularly from 2015.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I was starting a lot of the games from 2015. In 2014, obviously, it was like up and down, playing sometime, playing not sometime. But I didn't. I think the most important thing it's not really a secret lah. Just don't complain. Just keep working. Yeah.
But do you feel like influence was because do you feel like you had a very big influence over over all the possible trophies that JDT won because you were there since the start?
I would like to think that I played my part.
Okay.
I wouldn't say because I played that they won this, won that. Obviously it's a collective effort for sure, and we have some special players over the season. Obviously I mentioned Pablo Aima, Figueroa, Diaz as well, Pereira Diaz over the years. So I think all these foreign players add some stardust, some extra quality to the team, but definitely it was a huge team effort from everybody.
Yep. Touching slightly again on TMJ, because what happened is when you guys win, I mean when JDT win and all, of course you will see his IG story being stacked with win and all. But when you guys lost, when you guys lose? Sorry, how was the dressing room like? How was the next day training like?
It's not good lah.
Chaos.
It's not good.
Is it like double training?
No. We don't get double training and all that, but
Not good.
not good situation. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, right? He rightly so the investment he put in. He wants to see the team perform and win and blah. Okay, we can understand in football sometimes you cannot win every game.
Yeah.
But I think for him the base was like we need to keep fighting. We need to show our football. We need to show our quality. With the quality that he invests, he wants to see some kind of return lah.
Yes, correct.
He cannot see players walking, cannot see players not trying and all that. So that's the bare minimum. I can remember one game we played Kelantan away.
Okay.
I mean in Malaysia when you go especially to the East Coast, right, up north, playing away is so difficult. Terengganu, Kelantan, I don't know why lah, but Kedah and these places it's very difficult to play. So we played Kelantan away in their stadium, and we played very badly. Very badly we played. We were losing 1-0, and then just before halftime we equalized 1-1. Nacho Insa scored.
Yeah.
We went in the dressing room. We knew we played badly, but one of the officials got a phone call, and we all knew that it was boss behind it. So he was, I think the way he said, I think he was getting scolded or what. I said, tell the team, do it, blah blah blah. This that. And one thing he said is like, if they lose today's game, everybody half salary cut. I said, wow. So I was, obviously we know we played badly. We were a little bit low in confidence, and then when I heard this, I said, wow, this thing is real lah. So everybody's like, okay, come, let's go and get this done lah. So, but like I said, it's difficult place to play, right? And then I think it was 2-1. We were trailing, we were losing again 2-1, and then we came back 2-2.
Yeah.
So we went back to Johor. The
Final
next
score
day,
was 2-2.
the final score was 2-2. So we went back to Johor. Okay, we didn't get the half salary cut lah. We all got warning letters. Warning letters. So I can remember there was a envelope on each and every one of our. So the practice is you come back from Kelantan. It was quite late or early in the morning. So I went. We were going to our dressing room, put our boots down and all that. I said we will go out to our cars and go back home.
Yeah.
So we went into the dressing room. You saw the envelope at your place. I saw my envelope. I said,
Cannot be bonus,
what
right?
is this? Yeah, cannot be bonus, right? So then after that you look around and say, everybody's place got an envelope. So you open up lah. You open up and then you read. Say, this is a warning letter. So the foreign player, local player, everybody got a warning letter. Say, if you're not going to buck up, you're not going to make put in your performance and all that, we are going to cut your salary or terminate you, and this kind of things lah. So like I mentioned earlier, it's a high risk, high reward kind of
I mean, TMJ being TMJ, doing all the things that he has done, I mean, at a certain level, I think it worked because now to where he is now. But back in 2015, you became also the first Singaporean to win the FC Cup for you and your team, to win the FC Cup for TMJ and all that. Take us back to that moment. How was it like? How good was a win for you guys?
Yeah, it was amazing because it was the first team from Malaysia to win the AFC Cup, and then for me also I was the first Singaporean to win the AFC Cup. So on a individual and a collective note, it was quite a huge moment for me and the club. And it was okay. Luck and fate had a part to play lah. In the semi-final, we played the team from Kuwait, I think. So we lost the first leg away 3-1 or 3-0, and then they got suspended because FIFA suspend the FA for some interference thing. So by default, we went into the final. And the other side also, Istiqlal went in because they lost their first semi-final first leg as well to the Kuwait team. So we both met in the final, and they played in their stadium.
It was
so
artificial.
It was artificial. It was cold night. So I can remember clearly that I mean it's a final, but it looks like we have a lot of things against us.
Correct.
But it was amazing because the characters in the team, we were riding wave after wave of attack. You know, the home crowd was on their side, but the character in the team really pulled through, and we scored that crucial goal. And I think the whole game we defended really well to bring the result back. So it was an amazing feat for me.
How was the after party like? After you guys win, what happened in the dressing room and all?
Yeah, it was crazy. Not so much in the dressing room lah, but when we got back to the hotel, you know, I mean TMJ wasn't there.
He threw a bonus for you guys, no? Another envelope,
No, I would love to think so lah, you know. But he was not there because I think he had some other commitment. But he was following his dad, the Sultan was there. So it was amongst the team. We had a nice party.
Early in the podcast, you know, you mentioned you had a stint with a Spain club, Hospitalet. You know, TMJ mentioned that it was to help you grow, and then the deal fell through. Why exactly did it fell through? You know.
Okay, that was through JDT. So the plan was for me to go to that club and be on loan the whole season. Initially, you know, and then of course see how it goes and see whether I should come back for the 2018 season. But then when I was there, so Hospitalet was playing in the third tier of Spanish football. They were just based outside of Barcelona. So the team had a lot of obviously third division team, right? They had a lot of players on loan from Atletico Madrid and all these teams, you know, around Spain. Quite a decent team or football level itself, but the management I think wasn't run as well. So I think I found out that from the management people themselves that they had a lot of debt, the team. So I think Spanish rules or something don't allow them to hire a foreign player, because foreign player you need, you know, work permit and stuff like this, right? So that's what I was told and I heard, and I had to come back, but I was left in limbo a bit because
the foreign quota in JDT.
Back in JDT, the foreign quota was taken up, and I couldn't go back. If I go back, I was just to train. You know, I couldn't just train. I had to play somewhere, and I reached out to clubs in Singapore, and Home United was available.
How do you feel? Because throughout your whole career, you had so many overseas opportunity, but all the deal fell through. As a footballer, what was your thought after that deal fell through?
It was very.
You feel like it's not written?
A bit demoralizing at times, but I think it was more so when I was younger. When I was older, I think I managed to deal with this
much better.
So when the Hospitalet thing fall through, of course I was disappointed naturally, but I was just looking forward to coming back to play football and going back to JDT the next season.
Understand.
We found this article on Straits Times that you took a significant pay cut, exactly like 33%, to help contribute to the Johor Disaster Fund
during COVID.
So what did you? Why did you do that actually?
Okay, so back then I think it was very tough time for all of us. It was. I think we were going through a dark tunnel the whole world, right? All of us in our own ways So, but as footballers, I don't know about the other clubs and all that, but at least in JDT there was no pay cut. There was no nothing. We were
hero here.
We were so grateful for that from boss, from TMJ himself, that, you know. So but then you heard of pay cuts elsewhere in other industries, you know, the service line, airline and all this and blah blah blah. People business owners were really struggling, and you know, both in Singapore and in Malaysia. In Malaysia also at that time when I was there. So I think it only made sense for the whole team to take this step. You know, because I think it didn't for the salaries that we were earning, I think this was a small thing,
token,
a small gesture from our part. So I think it was just for a way for the team to show that we are in it together.
So it wasn't you alone. The whole team.
Yeah, the whole team. Yeah.
Who brought up this idea?
I think it was from the club itself.
Okay.
Yeah, from the club itself, it was mooted around the players. So I think the players all agreed. Yeah.
How was the experience with the Johorians there? I mean, you are there for quite some time. Do they also see you as a local?
Yeah, I think over the years, it's nice to get that recognition.
Yeah.
I think initially it was like, who's this guy? Not so much. But once I started to play more regularly, especially from the AFC Cup 2015 when we won, right? And then obviously later on when I became captain in 2018, I think for as long as you give your best for the team, I think they will recognize your contributions.
For your day-to-day in Johor and all, when you walk on the street, you get recognized there?
Yeah, like
Your security there?
it was a lot back then, Yeah, so I told my wife, hey, we are not going out. I mean, it's not so much that I don't like. I appreciate them, coming up, but sometimes you can get a bit too much. Sometimes we value our privacy, right? Like, it's difficult to go out and have makan with your family because as Singaporeans, we like to go to Pandan lah, and all these places, right? Makan, I told my wife, okay, let's see the time. Not so crowded we go. Or maybe if my extended family is over, okay, you go with them, and it's not so much that I don't like them doing it. I appreciate them, and they need a photo, but sometimes it creates commotion, So but nowadays, I've left now 4 years plus now. When you go back, it's not as much as before, but you still get recognized, at the
I think they love you, They love you there.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice that they still remember.
So shortly after COVID-19, you came back to Singapore. What sparked the move? Was it like because of the privacy issue as well that you want to treasure in Singapore, or do you feel like it's already job well done in JDT?
Oh no, it was purely my family. Purely my family. So like I mentioned, I think COVID, we didn't know what was going on, right?
Yeah.
Like you were walking through a dark tunnel. I was away from my family. I was alone in Johor. My family and my wife and my kids were here in Singapore, and it felt like so near yet so far. Especially for me, I was just across the border. I don't need to take a flight. So sometimes when I drive to my training ground, you guys know where the training ground is, right? Near the Dataran, you can see Singapore Custom. You can see the Marsiling HEB. It's like, hey, that's home, And then at that point of time, so I had an injury. And I just got to my 30s, So I was thinking like, what's to be? We didn't know when COVID was going to end. I was following the news every day. When the vaccine going to come out, when the border going to open, but there was no sign of anything. So I was quite mentally, it was quite a draining and difficult time. I think I was away in total a couple of months from my family. So I spoke to my wife. My oldest son just got into P1. And then I think it's no secret that a lot of people know my oldest son has autism. And I felt like the need to be closer to my family. I think it's a family decision. And luckily enough, I think Lions City Sailors were coming up at that point of time. They were trying to create a project. So that appealed to me as well. But even though I was a different stage of my career, so I thought, okay, this thing can work, So I thought that's
But your contract with JDT ended or you cut it short?
I cut it short by 6 months.
So they allow you to leave?
Yeah, so I had to talk to TMJ about that.
How did you find that when you came to him and you want to leave?
Yeah, so that was another. I was so scared to talk to him. I was afraid. So I had to arrange through his guys to get a meeting with him personally. I think that point in time there was no games because it was a circuit breaker time. So he said, okay, come see him at his place. So then again, he was in his buggy, going around his
He knew he was coming, you think?
Yeah, he knew. He knew it was an arranged meeting. So I said, boss, I need to talk to you. He said, come on. We both got into his buggy. He was riding around his polo club. So tell me, what do you want? New contract?
I mean, he didn't know he was coming.
He knew it was something about contract, but he didn't know what I was going to throw at him. He thought I wanted a new contract because I had 6 months remaining on my contract. So you want a new contract? Then I was like, I was stunned for a bit because
how much you say?
We didn't know I didn't know at that point in time whether he was going to extend my contract.
Correct.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
more in my head like, okay, it's time to be with
Yeah.
family. Yeah. So I was stunned for a bit. I kept quiet. Then I said, no, boss. Actually, it's the opposite. I think it's time. I go back to my family. I think I should leave. I've contributed a lot, and I think it's come to a stage where I explained about my family situation,
correct,
you know, and also at that point of time, my father-in-law wasn't doing so well, health-wise. I think my wife was going through a tough time, mentally and all that, you know, being COVID. So I told him that, and he totally understand. He said, okay, he understand, and he asked me what was my next step. Yeah. So I did mention, look, there's this club, and he already heard of Lions XII Sailors. So, he said, okay, just talk to he's got other managers and all that involved, right, to put the things in motion. Yeah. So I played, I think, another 2 games for JDT, and then it was an international break. Yeah, so he asked me, okay, when you want to announce to the team and blah blah blah, and so that was the emotional send off that I had back then. Yeah.
So he made it easy for you to leave.
Yeah, for sure he made it easy. So it was by mutual
Agreement.
So he didn't make sailors to come and pay your 6 months and all that. So
No.
I understand.
When you came over to Sailors, and because when you came over to Sailors, I think it's second season, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
Or 1.5 halfway through? The first season?
Second season.
Second season,
Yeah.
Yeah, when you came over to Sailors in the second season and all, and you sit down again, you listen to their vision again and all.
Yeah.
Did it bring back some nostalgia? Because you were in similar situation with JDT at one point of time?
Yeah, for sure. Because at that point of time, also as a local player, as a Singaporean, I knew. I mean, I was a bit more experienced, right? I was already in my 30s. That this is what we need for Singapore football. You know, it has to be. It's a starting block.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously there's so many things that needs to be done, right? But I think to have a club like this for players, especially for local players to develop and experience the atmosphere, the environment, we need this. And I thought me being there, I could lend the experience to the younger ones. Yeah.
Building something from the ground up is never easy. So, and Forrest spearheaded that. So how was that to you during that transition?
Yeah, so I met Forrest in my first training session. He came down. So I thought that was a really nice gesture for him to come and welcome me. But then I think Sai would tell you also, he was there in that team. We didn't have a training ground also. So, but,
Similar situation.
Mata Road wasn't ready. We were using Jalan Besar every day. And then the dressing room, everything was done inside there. We had a good time. I'm sure Sai enjoyed as well.
I enjoyed too much.
Yeah.
Too much enjoy.
Now I roommate with Hariss.
So yeah, we trained in the mornings, you know. So it was a nice time. But then I also recognized and realized that this is the first step, you know, for this club to progress and become bigger. There's still a lot more to be done, and of course, one of that is the Mata Road facility that we have today. So when we moved there in 2022, I think it was another step forward for the club. You know, these kind of things usually, like talk about patience, right? Earlier, it's a very price virtue, patience.
Okay.
Some people have it, some people don't. But if you want to build something, you need to
Have that patience.
have that patience for sure. Yeah. So youth development, like the pitches that we have. Even for Lions XII Sailors last year when we made it to the ACL2 final. A lot of clubs try for 20, 30 years, they don't go. We are 5 years only, we already in the final. So in that sense, we were quite lucky. And it shows that we are doing something right, but we need to keep building, because that's not the end game, you know. You want to keep going and try to establish yourself.
How's Forrest like as a person actually? Is he like very involved in the day-to-day activities?
Okay, so Forrest obviously has got a lot of passion for football. If not, he won't be in football, right? Yeah. But he's a businessman. You know? So I think besides Lions XII Sailors, he's got other things on his plate. You know, he runs the C group and all these things, right? So he's not there day to day, but he puts people in place to run the show for him and people that he trusts and all that. So I think for all the work that he has done, I think he gets good feedback on what is needed for the club, whether it's the squad, the playing staff, the backroom staff, or the stadium, for example, like in Bishan. I think you all know how the Bishan Stadium was transformed for the ACL2 final. I think Forrest made a huge contribution to that, you know. So even though he's not there day to day, I think his contribution is very immense and he's very close to his heart. So he makes the effort to be there for each and every game if possible. Yeah.
Correct. I mean, because you were there at the start with JDT, with TMJ, and you also you also was at the start with Sailors, with Forrest itself. Comparing these two billionaires, how different are they in terms of their vision?
Oh no, I think the vision is pretty much the same.
Okay.
It's similar. I think for TMJ, I think we don't have to say lah, right? I think we are seeing what JDT is today, and he wants more.
Yeah.
I think I won't be afraid to say I think he wants to win the Champions League. Yeah. So and it's good. I think you need to aim high and far, and I think see how they develop. I think for Lions City Sailors with Forrest, I think it's more of a Singapore football project.
Okay.
Because obviously now he's the FAS president. He sees Lions City Sailors as one way to help Singapore football. In the 5 years ago, and then now he's the president. He wants to help. So hopefully we can try to use Lions City Sailors as a model to help other clubs as well. Having said that, even Tampines, who operate on a different model to Lions City Sailors, I think they have done well. Churning out the players to the national team. I think you can see players like Glenn and all that. Coming up now in the recent months, more established in the national team. So for as long as we have competitive clubs, competitive models, clubs who have structure and know what they are doing, I think it bodes well for Singapore football. We can try to increase the value and the competitiveness of the league.
Yes, and talking about vision, Forest vision, TMJ vision, one of Forest's vision was to have a good infrastructure for the club. The Mata Road facility. How important are infrastructures like this for raising footballers in Singapore?
For sure, it's huge because I know. I mean, I'm a player myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have these kind of facilities and whatnot, right? There is no excuse for you.
Correct.
Everything is at your doorstep. You just need to turn up there, train. Even your kid is in the dressing room. Just change your kid, go to the gym, go to the physio. Go out to the pitch and practice. You need to do your extra work. And I can completely understand. I know Madhu mentioned that Balestier has to jump here and there. I can completely understand. Not every club has a training ground. Not every and that's what we are working towards as well. It's not perfect in Singapore. Like in Johor, TMJ, what he wants, he gets. What he wants, he can just build. In 1-2 years, he built the training ground that I went to into what it is today. With the indoor structure, pitch, the recovery areas, the gym, and all that.
His own stadium.
Plot of land. But in Singapore, I think it's a little bit more complex in that sense. There's a lot of people involved, a lot of agencies, authorities involved. So I think behind the scenes, we are trying to work that out, and we recognize the importance of club having their own home per se, to train in, and for the young players, the players to have this identity, call it a home, where they can do everything. And I totally agree. This is essential for our football to move forward. Yeah.
But do you think space is also a concern in Singapore?
Yeah, for sure. But I think for there's so many ways that we can actually overcome this. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have an investor like Forrest who can build a facility like Mata, that will be the best case scenario. Yeah. But perhaps we have to look at other models. Maybe working with schools. And whatnot. So I think a lot of people have to come work together.
A lot of money involved.
Money not necessarily. Yes, if you were talking about maintenance of the pitch and locker rooms and all that, yes. But I think we need to have a lot of conversations whereby we can bring people together and work schools with the clubs and whatnot. Because I think we I don't want to call it excuses, but I think if we are all serious about this, we will find a way.
Yeah. Correct. Fair enough.
Nowadays, when you mention Sailors, you think of the final with Sharjah.
Yeah.
So I think the fans would want to know and curious about during the point of the tournament, when did it spark that I have a chance to win it as a team collectively?
It was quite a amazing run for us last season. We didn't expect it to turn out as it. Couldn't be the best if he won it, but it's not to be. But yeah, I think there were few moments, I would say. I think in the group stage where we won against Sport at home, the last group game, where Song scored that scissors kick or whatever, we won 5-2. That was one moment. And then we played Hiroshima in the quarterfinal. Where I think we all know lah. We all are laughing. So we cannot whack the first game 6-1.
Yeah, 6-1.
Yeah, and then the second leg, we know what happened. Like, they fielded and we got the result was 3-0 in our favor the first leg. So we knew what we had to do in Jalan Besar. Still, you need to go out there and do the job,
Correct.
This is San Francisco, Hiroshima they were talking about.
Correct.
They have so many quality players. They can easily overturn a 3-0 deficit. But I think that day, that second leg, we were so fired up because obviously the result was on our side. We were playing at Jalan Besar. The fans was behind us. So I think we showed that we could. It was a 1-1 draw. We got through. We showed that we can compete with this big boy. I mean, obviously we got beaten in the stadium 6-1. In that moment also, they scored first and then we scored, right? I think Max and Shawal combined and Bart, we scored the equalizer.
You scored first. Sailor scored first. The game at Hiroshima.
Hiroshima. So I think at a brief moment we thought we can compete with them, but then they came in and scored 5 goals. So but I think the second game where we when everything turned, and we still had to go out there and do the job. I think it gave the team a lot of confidence and belief that we can go on and.
Correct. When they use overturn, like the from the 6-1 to 3-0 and all. When you guys heard about the news, where were majority of the team?
We were at training. I can remember we were at training at Mata in the gym. A lot of players was in the gym. So we were doing our activation and all that, getting ready for the training session. And then I think one of the officials came and said, "Hey, they feel it an ineligible player. It may be overturned. They are investigating, blah blah blah, and all that. We will know in the next few days." And I said, "Wow, okay."
Surely for you feel like stars align because JDT has similar situation.
In a way, I was like, "Wow, this happened." But I didn't say anything to the players. Then I think the next day or the next 2 days, it was confirmed. And then that's where I told players, "Hey guys, maybe something is
coming up.
This happened in 2015 with my old team as well. So let's take this game. Trying to so everybody was pumped up again. Fired up for the game. And I think we saw the performance the boys put in. It was a tough game because of the quality of Hiroshima, but we matched them.
I mean, I just want to understand as a fan point of view, right? Why did Sailors agree to actually play at Bishan Stadium? Why didn't the team say I want to play at Jalan Besar?
I think it was more of more at the management level. I think a lot of politics came into play at that point of time. Obviously, we played all our games at Jalan Besar. We wanted to play at Jalan Besar as well. But I think Jalan Besar was deemed as not fitting the criteria.
Okay.
In a
But do
way.
you think it was fair for the other teams when you played you guys away?
For me, it didn't make sense. But it is what it is. Sometimes certain things you just need to live with it. But having said that, when I saw Bishan transform, I was like, wow,
What a place to play in.
what a place to play in. And this can be done in Singapore football.
Correct.
If you guys can remember clearly, it was the GE period early this year.
Correct.
So Bishan Stadium was, the political parties were using it for their rallies and whatnot all over Singapore, right? Stadium. So they couldn't actually use Bishan or go into Bishan and transform it earlier. So after the GE, I think they had a bit of a short runway.
Correct.
All the authorities involved came in. I think Forrest put in his investment, and then it came. What it is, I was like, wow, this is beautiful.
Correct.
It can be done,
Yeah.
And I've played in Bishan for so many years, national team, Home United, whatever I call it. But when I stepped onto Bishan that day, I was like, wow, this is a different Bishan. This is like a proper stadium, So it was still even though we played at Bishan, after playing at Jalan Besar, it was still an amazing feeling.
Do you think if you guys played at Jalan Besar, the result would be different?
I don't know. I think I'll possibly think yes, maybe because we had the momentum on our side. I think the boys were very familiar with Jalan Besar. Artificial pitch has a big part to play in as well throughout the season. So I would like to think yes, but then football, you never know.
Just talking about the AFC final, I mean, it was a loss on paper, but it was a win for Singapore football actually. So was that a slight turning point that this is the coming up of Singapore football?
I think a lot of people who didn't watch much local football before that game came to that game.
Yeah.
Maybe they saw the game on TV.
I was there, Hariss.
Yeah, but you are in Singapore football, so you know. Yeah,
I was there supporting you.
yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, it showed Singapore football in a different light, you know, to our own people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think everybody was talking about the final in Singapore, and then to see Bishan, such a stadium, you know, besides the National Stadium in Jalan Besar, to see a proper stadium in Singapore on TV broadcast, and then for the people who came down, I think it was amazing, you know. And then coupled that with whatever the national team achieved in the months following, I think it really gave Singapore football some kind of life. Yeah.
That's true.
Did you wish that the stadium stayed that way?
Yeah, of course.
Because your Sailors home stadium, you know?
Sailors home stadium, and then national team. I think not many weeks after, in June, we played the friendly against Maldives.
Totally
was it
different.
Maldives? Yeah, it was totally different experience. Of it. They removed the stands by then. Yeah, so like I said, it was a different feeling.
I mean, Hariss, earlier in the podcast, we talked about the Asian Cup qualification. So now we're going to touch a little bit on the Asian Cup. What did that win actually really mean to you? Did you finally feel like all these years, you know, all the struggles that you went through, the fell through, and then you finally had this win? How was it like, you know?
Yeah, it was. We're still buzzing from the win.
Now
Yeah,
also.
it was. Yeah, it is. It's not. It feels like a long time, but it's just a week ago, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was, for me personally, it's such a relief. Yeah, that we've got through this hurdle after so many campaigns and years of trying to get to the Asian Cup. And yeah, I think credit has to go to the whole team. Yeah.
And the win, I believe, wasn't easy because at halftime you guys were down 1-0. What was the message to the players at halftime with Gavin?
Yeah, I think halftime, the key message was to stay calm. I think that also has to come from the coach himself, Gavin. You know, I think Gavin gives that calm persona. You know, when you see him, he's not flustered. He's not like, he's always seemed to have things under control. So I think in the first half, even before Gavin spoke, I told the boys that, you know, we are losing our duels, you know, 50-50. They were pushing us around a little bit. And Gavin came in and said it in his own way. And he was focused on getting the solution. You know, so yeah, I think we were so focused on actually getting back into the game, on our gameplay, on how we will want to try to tweak our play a little bit, you know. And yeah, second half was a totally different story. Yeah.
Was Forrest involved in the halftime team talk?
No.
he was not
I
involved,
think during the course of the game, the management don't get involved.
Don't get involved lah. Okay.
I mean, Gavin and you are is the same batch. So, you know, when you played with him at NFA and he was a player and all that. So what did you see in Gavin, you know, that, you know, oh, this guy actually is doing really well, you know, let's give him the support. And kind of thing.
At that point of time, honestly, I mean, we were all young, right?
Yeah.
We were 15, 16. You know, I never thought that he would be a coach. He would be my national team coach, you know, many years down the road. Because I don't think he started coaching yet at that point of time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But when we were there, I mean, honestly, he was a decent player.
Yeah.
Our generation, we used to call him like the David Beckham, because he used to play on right midfield, you know. And then he wasn't the fastest. He was, you know, he works hard. You know, his good technique on the ball and you know, delivery of the ball and whatnot, right? And we always say he's playing style like similar to David Beckham, you know. Yeah, but yeah, and then obviously after that generation, we went different paths. You know, I moved on to under 23s and then national team, and then I think he stayed on for a couple more years, and he took the coaching route after a few years. But I think even then, he was never those how do you say, as a person or as a player, those aggressive or he always seemed to be under control. You know, even his character, his the way he approached people, you know, like always like down to earth and calm. Yeah.
Gavin has an influence to the squad.
Yeah.
But you, Izwan, Safwan are all senior players as well. So how do you guys influence everyone? Because it's quite pivotal, you know, in these moments.
I think everybody have to play their part. Yeah, you know, Gavin is the calm one, and you know, as he should be doing, trying to prepare the team. And then some of us, we need to play the bad cop. Some of the older players. Yeah. So I mean, for myself, I think a lot of the players really know what my style is, over the years. And I think Safwan and Izwan, I'm really happy that I have them by my side, to help. So sometimes when my headspace is not right, I tell Safwan, hey, go and tell him, or I tell Izwan, go and handle this, and they will be the bad cop for me, you know what I mean? Yeah. So in a way, we work together well as a team,
How's your relationship like with Safwan? I think you guys grew up together. So how was the...
Yeah, Safwan and me, I mean, he's a year younger than me. Izwan and me, we are the same batch. With Gavin, we're the same batch. So, but I played with these two guys, Izwan and Safwan, for a long time. I first played with Safwan in Young Lions, So ironically, as a centre-back partnership, I was 20, he was 19. So we played a full season in Young Lions as that season I was asked to play as a centre-back, so we were playing as centre-backs together. And ever since, for the national team, we always have a good relationship, always talk about things, and especially so when we are much older, because he also played in Malaysia for a long time. We faced each other many times in big games for when he was playing Pahang and then later on in Selangor. So I think we talk a lot about Malaysian football as well. And then now in the last few years about what we want to achieve for the national team, because I think we are at the stage that in the national team also we haven't had success for a long time, right? A lot of up and down. So we always talk about trying to achieve something before we call it a day.
Touching on success slightly, because you had more than 100 caps for the national team itself. What makes this current squad different from the squad you have played in the previous years?
Well, I mean, it's different eras and generations, different players, but like in football, you cannot have 11 Lionel Messi, you cannot have 11 Cristiano Ronaldo. At the same time, you cannot have 11 Sergio Ramos. You need to have a mix of everything, different character, different style, different skill set of players. And I think this team we have
good mix.
A good mix. I wouldn't say perfect, but a good mix, of the young players, the old players, the experience, the
backroom staff also.
The staff have good chemistry with each other. Everybody's working together. And I must say, Gavin, and before Gavin, when Coach Ogura was here, he initiated all these things, make sure everybody is doing their job and helping each other actually, to create these things. So everyone clearly knows what their role is, and they try to chip in and help each other where they can. So I think it goes down to the players as well. I think Coach Ogura, for one, when he came in, he was very hard on the young players. Which I personally like to say his style was what we needed at that point in time. Because I remember when my time when I came into the national team, Radi was hard on the young players as well. Not so much because of anything, but he wanted us to develop, to learn, and to become better players. And Ogura was the same. And he was very hard on the younger players because he wanted them to improve, wanted them to be of international standard, And it's just sad that he's not around to see the progress of these players. But not, like I mentioned, when you see the likes of Hami and Glenn and all these players coming in, you can see the steps that they're making.
And then this qualification seemed to ignite belief for both players and fans. So from your perspective, what changed internally?
Just to touch on what I mentioned earlier, I think the team came together, backroom staff, the players. I think players also, we talk a lot on what we want to achieve together. And I think the emphasis is obviously the older players, we want it a lot more because we don't know how long more we can play, right? But I think it's also trying to get to the young players, saying to them that football career is not, you cannot play until you're 60, You need to make unless you're what?
King Kazu.
So you need to make the most of it. You never know when you can play another AFF. You never know when you can play another Asian Cup qualifier. So don't think too far ahead. Just what is ahead of you. So we the character in the team, I think is very, very, very important. I think we could see in the last few games.
How many more years do you still have left in your tank?
I don't know.
as long as you can go.
Year by year.
Until the Asian Cup.
Year by year, step by step.
I mean, now that Singapore has crossed that barrier, what do you believe was the next non-negotiable for the team as a whole?
Okay. I always believe the results in football, it's not in your control. You know, what you put in, the effort that you put in, how you prepare, you know, and all that. Those things are things that you can control. So on an individual level and also as a collective, when the team comes together, right? The baseline has to be what you have achieved in the past months. You know, fighting for each other, not giving up. You know, the goal, we went down, we conceded the first goal in all those games, but we came back. You know, and obviously that's got to do with character and all that, but also the quality that we had, you know, to score those goals. So the bare minimum has to be that, you know, showing the fans that it means so much to play for the shirt, because we are a representation of the fans. You know, and then of course when we achieve all this success and all that, right, everybody is happy. You know, because it means so much more to them. You know, even people, even where I stay, my neighbors are all coming to me. They gave me a hamper. This is for you and your team. And then, so it just goes to show that it means a lot to the people. So the players must understand that when they put on the shirt, there is a reflection and representation of everybody else. So they need to give to make sure that it's all worth it.
I mean, you played for a lot of the top clubs. You know, you played for Sailors, you played for JDT and all. You've seen a lot of head coaches and all. How does Gavin fare in terms of all these as a head coach actually?
So Gavin, what I would like to say, okay, like I mentioned earlier, football has changed over the years. You know, from the time when I started until now. So Gavin is a very different coach from the coaches that I had before. Maybe the ones that I had before were very conventional. You know, they are very direct and, you know, playing. Because football was as such. Last time they play 4-4-2. They don't think so much. Now you see a lot of teams playing 3-5-2, 3-4-3, 4-3-3. Then, you know, inverted fullback, blah blah. You know. So I would say Gavin is more of the modern era coach. You know, but it's very easy to label somebody this and that and all that. You know, but my first-hand experience with him is that he's very concise, not only in the videos and all that, but in how he prepares the team for game-like situations. You know, so he makes sure that every single member in the team knows your role, what you need to do. So an example is Amirul Adli. Amirul Adli can play across the back line. You know, he's a right footer, but he plays left back. He plays centre back. You know, so when he comes in, he steps in, you can see he's clearly knows his role. You know, okay, sometimes the odd things happen, you know, lapse of concentration, but that's where the team comes in. How do you cover the players and all that? So if you can remember last year AFF where we played Thailand, we went 2-0 up, and then we lost 4-2. You know, so Safwan couldn't play in that game because of club commitments. So everybody was like, "Oh, alamak, Safwan's not around." You know, so who's going to say? And then Ali came in, but Ali did an excellent job. You know, alongside Lionel. Obviously, towards the end, we were chasing the game. We opened up, and then we conceded those goals. You know, but I think in the beginning, especially, we were quite steady. You know, so I think this has go down or boils down to the coaching. You know, making sure that you tailor your trainings, your video sessions, and everything to make sure that each and every member understands their role and how the team wants to play.
Do you think he's worthy for a national head team coach role?
Yeah, for sure. I think the players stick to him. He understands the play. He's been around for a while. So yeah, I mean, I know there will be some who say, look, maybe he doesn't have the experience and whatnot and stuff like that. But I'm.
What are your thoughts on those players? On those.
I mean, everybody has their own opinions. I cannot say they have their reasons. You know, they need somebody more seasoned and all that. And rightly so, you can agree with them. But as someone who has been up and close, you know, I think Gavin has proven his worth.
Yeah. Moving away slightly away from Gavin, moving back to yourself in a bit more formal role. You are actually FAS Vice President. As of last year, if I'm not wrong.
No, this year.
As of this year.
This
year. How did that role came about? Who approached you for the role?
So, I think that was another thing that took me by surprise.
How do you feel, like player to vice president?
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward for me in the beginning. Yeah, so I was so Forrest it was no secret he was going to run for it.
Yes, correct.
Assembling a team and whatnot. So I went to training one day and then I was called into the office by Badri. who was with the Lions City Sailors then, said, look, that he was told that they are considering me for this role. You know, I was like, are you sure? I was like, what do the other people in the team think about this? I mean, obviously I asked about the makeup of the whole council, you know, who's going to be there, blah, blah, what our roles are and what are their. I said, oh no, they all feel that you need to be there, you know. And then again, I had a bit of confidence, but obviously this was a first for a player to be involved in the council. So I told them, I said, look, give me some time to think about this. You know, and I spoke with my wife, with my family, and what it actually means, you know, whether I should or should not. And I decided that it's something that's good to have a player's perspective from within the council. And I can recognize that when you are in this role, there's a lot of questions, a lot of things thrown at you. Not necessarily that whatever you say will be agreed with from the outside, because you're looking through a different lens. So maybe I'll be seen as being biased towards the council. Obviously, I have to try to support and forward the council's initiatives, but then I see things through a different lens, and I try to you know, to cater to the players as well as, you know, how the council wants to move Singapore football forward.
How's the job scope like day to day when you are actually
so okay, obviously we don't have to be in office.
No clock in, clock out.
But obviously we have meetings every month. Every month, or you know, weekly. We all have our own different roles. So it depends on who you are working with on the council. You know, you have your own meeting, and then the council meeting comes in every couple of months. You know, but we are always up to date with what's happening in and around Singapore football. We meet each other at games as well. I think a lot of the council have their own commitments outside, but when national team is playing or certain teams are playing, we get together at the games and, you know, talk about
you talking about this role giving you a very different lens. So what surprised you the most about football administration once you entered the boardroom?
I mean, I already knew that in Singapore's context that you have to go through if you wanna do something. For example, you want to build a stadium, you want to build a facility, you have to go through so many things. It's not like in Johor where it's straightforward, as I mentioned earlier, right? So but also at the same time, you need to convince people that, you know, why you need this, why you need that, and all that. So in that sense, there's a lot of layers. Which is totally understandable because obviously Singapore, the way Singapore is run is different from Malaysia or Johor and whatnot, right? So for me, it's about relationship. It's about people management. It's about convincing people. It's easy to say, this guy should have done that. This that. Obviously, you know, we all know better than the other person. You know, but it's how you're going to convince the guy that, look, we need this for Singapore football. We need this. If football can bring the whole the general population together, and we saw rightly so the Asian Cup qualification was an example. You know, everybody coming together, being happy for Singapore, and using this as a tool to, you know, push things forward, boost our youth, you know, their ambitions to be football players, to achieve more for Singapore. So it's about people management at the end of the day.
How do you manage so many things, Hariss? You're a footballer, then you're a national team captain, then you're vice president, you're also an agent, if I'm not wrong, property agent. How do you manage? You have family also. You have 5 things on your plate, really. How do you manage everything?
I bring my family everywhere. I think it's not easy for sure. I mean, alhamdulillah, it's really a privilege to be in this situation. But having said that, it's not easy as well. And I always believe that, you know, you are all these things that you're given is nothing that beyond you. I mean, obviously, if it's beyond me, I have my family my support system to fall back on. You know, you mentioned about being an agent, real estate agent. My wife is there. She's running that side of things. You know, so I'm really grateful and lucky for that. You know, with my football career, I'm traveling a lot with the national team and the club, so I cannot be there. But, you know, I try to be present whenever I'm around. Of course, on top of my council duties and whatnot. So time management is very important. And the council also, luckily enough, they understand that I'm a player. I mean, obviously, Forrest is president. He's the chairman of Lions City Sailors, so he understands my roles when I should be involved and when not. You know, he always tell me, look, focus on playing. You know, focus on the Asian Cup. You know, focus on the Lions City Sailors, because for him, when you have the results on the side, everything else falls in place.
Correct.
You know, yeah. So, I focus on the pitch, but you know, when there's meetings and certain things that I should be involved in, I'm there. So I think time management is quite key. Yeah.
So you've tasted Singapore football as a player and also part of the association. And what is one uncomfortable truth that Singapore football needs the people to understand before we have real change that can happen?
One uncomfortable truth.
Yes.
I think it's no secret lah. In the last few years, we have seen a lot of downs and ups in Singapore football. You know? People get frustrated. People and in the coming years, you will be like this.
Yeah.
You know, there will be a lot of downs as well. But I always believe to achieve the highs, you have to experience these downs. You know, yeah. So I can understand when there's more investment, you know, in the coming years, there's more investment, you know, in the teams, in the players, in the, I don't know, youth facilities. People will say, hey, and if you don't get the result, then they will say, why invest in football?
Yeah.
You know, waste time and these kind of things and whatnot. But I always believe that in football, there can only be one winner. World Cup, only one team can win. AFF, only one team can win. Asian Cup, only one team can win, you know. But for as long as we are doing things right, and in our situation right now, the steps that we take forward is a success for us. You know, so I don't see it as a failure. Yeah. So now we qualified for the Asian Cup. That's a success. So our SEA Games team, whether they qualify out of the group stage or not, what they achieve, you know, how much experience the players achieve in their development, you know, whether they are ready for the national team, can be seen as a success as well. You know, so there's so many ways and meaning we can look success at. Of course, everybody wants to win the trophy, everybody wants to be associated with wins and whatnot. But I think as a general population or fans of Singapore football, we must be prepared to ride these
The waves
with the team. You know, and rightly so, there's so many fans out there who have been diehard throughout, and this is a huge reward for them. But I think this is something that we all need to understand and take to that. Football is not always rosy. There will be ups and downs, but we learn a lot more from the downs than the highs. Yeah.
Understand, Hariss. I mean, we're coming to the end, towards the end of this episode. But we also, before we wrap things up, we also want to know, you have all this, you know, fame, money, successful career. How do you still maintain to be so disciplined?
Oh, you check my bank account.
No, Forrest
I don't know, his bank account banyak.
Forrest bonus was out there, so we assume from there lah.
When Forrest mentioned the 2 million, Hariss was behind, no, looking at
Yeah, somebody saw with my tongue out, right? Somebody screenshot, right? Yeah. That was good timing. But anyway, sorry, what was the question again?
How do you still maintain, you know, so grounded and so disciplined?
I don't know. I think I don't know how to answer this question. Like,
It's in you lah.
it's not that. I think these are things that I mean, obviously it's God's fate, you know. We say Alhamdulillah for everything that we have in our life, but at the same time, these things are temporary. It can be taken away. You know, you spend your money is gone.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on what you spend on. You know, a car, you buy a house, or you buy a watch, or whatever. You know, so these things are temporary. So fame is also, you know, you never know. Maybe you have it today, tomorrow you don't have. So for me, I there was a life before this, and there will be a life after this as well. So I would like to be known. I mean, if people, when they speak about me as the person, you know, on top of whatever I've achieved. You know, of course, all those are bonuses, but we know these things can come and go. So I always, no matter what, whether it's good or bad, we try to maintain the same persona.
I mean, because since we already opened up the topic with regards of Forrest bonus, and because Forrest mentioned that the bonus is up to 2 million. So can you share with the audience, you know, how's the breakdown like? Is 2 million given
what's your understanding? 2 million per person?
No. Maybe 2 million split 30 people, 2 million split 40 people. How's the
arrangement? I mean, obviously extended backroom staff and whatnot. You know, everybody is rewarded.
Is equal share?
Rewarded. It's not equal share. Everybody is rewarded accordingly. I can only say that lah. Yeah, and it's also for throughout the campaign that we have played.
So how many games they played and all?
How many games you have played, how many campaigns you are involved. We started this campaign back in March this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's
It's
5.
Forest initiative.
Yeah, this is for initiative of the council.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think everybody is rewarded accordingly. Yeah, so we don't leave the backroom stuff out. I think for all the sacrifices they've made, traveling away and what all the hard work they've. People don't see this. I think they should be rightly rewarded as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to ask just one last question. Just came up. As a player and all, when you have this kind of backing like Forrest and all, when you see this kind of businessman, he put in his own hard-earned money into the team. Does it motivate the team more to perform?
Yeah, for sure. I think, for me, I want to be clear that, for football, money is important. Whether you invest or the bonus you give to the players, money is important. But on top of that, there's so many other things, like for the national team, like I mentioned, playing for the shirt, what it means
correct.
to the people and all that. This is more important than the money. The money is just added bonus motivation that you spurs the player on. At the end of the game, you still need to go out there and win the game.
Correct.
And then then everything else comes into playing together as a team, knowing your role. Are you going to cover your teammate? Blah blah blah. And all this, you need to have a lot of heart and fire and understanding of the training. All that. And then the money we get on top of that it's an added bonus.
Correct. One last thing before we end the podcast. When I was doing some research on online and all, I saw an advert with PSB. That actually gathered close to 50k views on YouTube and all. What was the arrangement like? Why did you went back to school at that point of time? Did you wanted to further study? Was it because of council?
No. The council came much
This year,
later. I went back to school in 2020.
Oh, 2020.
Yeah. So I think I mentioned earlier.
Your face was all over on the buses and all, right?
I think so. Yeah. It was a COVID time, right?
Yes, COVID time.
So COVID time. So I thought it was a perfect timing to go back to school. We spoke at length about me coming back, right? Because of my family.
Yeah.
So I was also injured that time.
Okay.
So I thought, being 30 plus, preparing for life after football, I think this will be the perfect time. And then classes are online. We cannot go to school and all this kind. I thought, this is perfect. Given my commitment, I mean, I have kids at home and all that. And COVID, you cannot go out. So I think it's perfect time to take the course.
Why did you become a poster boy suddenly? How did that arrangement come out?
Hariss Harun, you don't understand. He's Hariss Harun.
The thing is, so PSB, I had it in my back of my mind that, look, I want to do something, but I didn't know what to do or where to go to, So it was quite nice timing in the sense that PSB, one of the reps from their marketing department reached out to me. Say, look, there's this course, would you want to do sports science? And we have a sports science course, but naturally footballers, they want to take sports science. I said, no, I don't want to do sports science.
Yeah, you took business, right?
Yeah, I took business marketing. Then he was like, what you don't do? You're a sportsman. I said, no. I said, okay, this is something new, So he went and checked some things out for me. So I said I took business marketing because I had a business background in my polytechnic days. I did sport and wellness, but it was business. It was a business course, you see. So I thought I wanted to do something related and hopefully can prepare me for life after football.
And talking about life after football, I think it's important for all of us to prepare for life after football. So my last question for you today, Hariss, on this episode, what's next for Hariss Harun?
Continue playing.
Continue playing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, obviously, like I mentioned, I'm at a stage where you take it step by step, season by season, year by year, So let's see where that takes me to. In the longer term, I would love to make a bigger contribution to Singapore football. I see the potential in Singapore football, not only in the football itself, but in how we can bring the whole of Singapore together. I think it is a sport that is special. Like no other. I mean, no disrespect to other sports. Obviously, we've done well in swimming and other sports in Singapore, table tennis and whatnot. But I think football is special in the way that it brings people together. When you see a full Kallang Stadium or Jalan Besar Stadium or whichever stadium, it just brings special feelings and emotions and attachments to the team. So that's why I say that the boys that represent the country that play where the red shirt need to understand the meaning of that. Yeah. So in the longer term, I would like to make a much bigger contribution to Singapore football.
And listen, I mean, Hariss, thank you for your time to come here on the show.
Thank you for your time,
Yeah, because
thank you so much.
Like you mentioned,
Very
he
busy.
have 5 things on his plate.
Yeah.
He need to manage time. He give us time. Thank you so much. For you viewers, you fans out there, if you made it all the way to the end of this episode, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Every small gesture goes a long way in supporting us. Until next time, this is Sportswire, wired for sports, driven by passion.
What a brilliant goal! Usain Bolt storming through, takes it. We've never seen anything like like it.
Sportswire Podcast.